Please have the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for Jeffrey Del Ben, a bus driver for Wappinger Central School District, who passed away on 12/6. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. 3.02, appointment of clerk pro tempore. First of all, I would just like to thank Ms. Kellen for filling in this evening. Trustee Miggets was unable to come, so Ms. Kellen is filling in for us.
Resolved. Whoops. I got it here. All right. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby appoint Sharon McDonough, clerk pro tempore, in the absence of the district clerk for the meeting of December 15th, 2025.
Do I have a motion? Mr. Lumia, second. Ms. Kellen, all in favor? Unanimous. 4.01, motion to open public hearing on the revised 25-26 district-wide school safety plan.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby open the public hearing of the revised 2025-2026 district-wide school safety plan at this time.
Motion, Mr. Lumia, second. Ms. Kellen, all those in favor? Unanimous. Mr. Lokema, what do you got for us?
Can you give it a minute? Dr. Wilson is in training. Neither Art nor I will be here at the January meeting, so I need to operate this. So this is a trial run. Make sure it works.
He is a quick
You guys
study.
are all witness. We're having a new trainee tonight.
Quick study. He's doing
One of
great.
our assistant superintendents is on the spot. All right, so we should all.
Yeah, you should be.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Good evening, everyone. Normally, we do this only one time a year, but if you remember back in August, I said we'd have to do this again. So the district-wide safety committee needed to reconvene, and the district needs to reapprove the district-wide safety plan with the January 2020 update for Ed Law 2801, which includes the updated cardiac emergency response plan information, otherwise known as DESH's Law, which is now a requirement to be put in place under our school safety plans. The meat and potatoes of what basketball, I think, right? The meat and potatoes of what how to operationalize the information that's required in our plans sits and resides within the building plans. A general overall summary of the district-wide plan or the information of what is required is what we've added to our district-wide safety plan. So namely, just a few core elements. First off, the district-wide safety plan notes that there'll be a minimum of 5 trained responders or 10% of building staff who is able to respond to a cardiac emergency. So someone who is a CPR certified provider, someone who's going to retrieve the AED device, someone who's going to call 911, an EMS liaison, and someone who may or may not be needed for crowd control. Also required under DESH's law, inside of our school buildings, and all AED locations must be easily retrievable, and a deployment of an AED must be able to be done within 3 minutes to any area on campus. So we did order additional AEDs. We had some of our schools already start drilling some AED procedures and timing it. There'll be an annual requirement, and all this is highlighted in the district-wide safety plan, but it'll be more operationalized in every building safety plan. Every year, there'll have to be at least one AED CERP drill. That's a cardiac emergency response drill. With the idea that upon initiation, you're going to do a measurement of time to see how much time it takes to get the AED to the emergency location and to begin simulating a CPR protocol. Also included in that, the district will have to coordinate with local EMS providers to ensure that our new procedures are known to them, including a site orientation and an AED location for every building. So we'll work with them on that. And I believe the last piece that we've identified in our district-wide safety plan in our draft, which has been posted out for public comment for the last few days, and will continue through I think it's just like the January 15th or just before the 20th when it is due, is that human resources will also be needing to maintain a record of all those who have been trained, and that facilities needs to continue to ensure that all of our AEDs are properly maintained every year, that the batteries are charged and that they're in good shape. And I think that's really about it. There's nothing more for this. It was just an addendum to our district-wide safety plan, and it is required that we include a public comment period the same way we did over the summer for the plan to be approved before it officially goes into place. Okay? Any questions?
As we're all back here, does anybody up here have any questions for Mr. Lokema on this
Great
presentation?
job.
Mr. Lumi, are you volunteering to be one of the people that they try this out on? I'm just asking. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we have to wish our secretary well, because she's sick.
Yes.
She's also sick.
Yes. Okay, so that's 4.02. I don't see any questions. Do we have
The
4.03, community input on the, I was getting there, on the revised school district safety plan? Was there any comments? Seeing none?
I'm supposed to read this.
Yes.
Comments related specifically to the district safety plan are welcome at this time. Please limit time for each speaker to 3 minutes.
Okay, there was none.
Okay.
4.04, motion to close public hearing.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby close the public hearing and resumes the board meeting.
Do I have a motion? Mr. McFarland, second, Mr. Lumia, all in favor? Unanimous. 5.01, Superintendent Spotlight on Program. This is a fun one. Dr. Bonk.
Thank you, President Johnson, members of the Board of Education, members of the Wappinger Central School District community. We have a playbill for this evening, and I must say that I have seen this play before, and it is phenomenal. What you're going to see this evening is a presentation by the Wappinger Central School District, the largest district-owned and operated transportation department in New York State, players, the WCSD transportation players present Buster's School Bus Safety. This is something that when I first heard about, I was overjoyed. We talk about safety and security. It's our top priority. We have nearly 300 bus routes throughout this school district. The fact that our transportation department brought this to life and shared this with our elementary students, I think speaks to their dedication and the importance that they place on what they do each and every day. And I can tell you, as I heard the voice of Buster and I watched the faces of the students, I could see that they understood, that they were listening in a manner that they probably would listen better in the event that somebody just stood there and recited a bunch of rules. This was an interactive performance that was energetic and well done. So I'm going to let you judge this performance for yourself, but I can tell you that it's phenomenal. And at this point, I'm going to introduce our Director of Transportation, Mr. Andy Rivera. Mr. Rivera, if you could introduce the staff that is here, and I would ask the board to please take a seat down in the audience, as I believe this will be done right in the front of the stage. Am I correct? Looking forward to your play.
All right, there you go. Okay, good evening. My name is Andrew Rivera. I'm the Supervisor of Transportation. Here tonight with us is the Assistant Supervisor, Eileen True, Head Bus Driver, Karen Rizzo, for Buster, Allison Giuliano, and the voice and the life of Buster in the back is Head Bus Driver, Kathy Trapasso.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and good evening. Thank you, Dr. Bonk, for matching our enthusiasm for the program. It really is good. I'm just going to read a little something that I wrote to show you exactly what we do. We don't have the actors here tonight, but if you want to look at the screen that we have up there, you can kind of see what we did. And of course, we're going to let Buster explain some of it at the end. So again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase our new school bus safety program here at Wappingers. While this robotic school bus Buster is a fun and engaging way to teach our elementary school students about bus safety, he truly embodies the spirit of collaboration between many of our departments. Buster was brought to life through the combined efforts of transportation and facilities, as well as our RCK theater students. When this program was just starting, I thought I'd just have to grab a couple of drivers to help with a small skit and find some willing and able somebody willing and able to do Buster. That was clearly not the case. The success of this program needs to be credited as follows: Ron Bros and Kristen Dainty for always supporting our efforts, Andy Rivera and Eileen True, our two supervisors, for encouraging us to continue using Busters in more ways, Dave Kimbark for facilitating the construction of our almost life-size prop of a school bus. That's it right there. The RCK theater and art students that designed, painted the prop itself. We have facilities who set up and broke down and transported the prop from school to school on a daily basis and never missed a beat. It was there ready for us to use every time we needed it. Of course, our 5 wonderful bus drivers who volunteered to be our actors, taking the time out of their own busy schedules every day. The entire transportation team who stayed behind to keep transportation rolling while we all toured the schools with the presentation. We can't forget our mechanics. Buster's stop arm was broken once. They stepped in. We didn't have to send him out for repairs. And they've rigged him in many ways for us for special needs that we have for him. Buster has not only been in the schools for a school bus safety program, but we've taken him to several touch a truck events where we entertain the kids with it. And at the same time, we promote job opportunities within the school bus, particularly monitors and drivers, obviously. And then we've even taken him to the Renegade Stadium for the Dutchess County Traffic Safety event. But at this point, the person that deserves, I feel, a lot of kudos for this is Kathy Trapass, our head bus driver. Her unique skill combines expert control of this large remote control school bus with the voice performance that really gives the character its personality and charm. Let's bring out Buster and see how he works, and we'll let him explain what he did in the schools. And of course, Kathy also designed the bill play cover. I did the back of it, but she asked if she could step in and make it a little more special.
I go to school with my friends, Miss Allison and Miss Kathy, and my bus driver friends. And we tell the students all about school bus safety and the rules to follow on the school bus to keep everybody safe. Now, Miss Allison and Miss Kathy, yeah, I guess they put it all together. And the school bus drivers are actors. But you know what? I'm the star of the show. Of course I am. Look at me. Who wouldn't be the star of the show looking like me? Because watch this. I have blinky lights. I have yellow ones. And I have red ones. Just like this. Pretty cool, huh? And I have a siren. And I play music. You heard that. So I put all of this together. And I come out and I talk to the students, and I'm pretty funny, and I make jokes, but we talk about the really important stuff, like how to safely cross the street, and how you should stay seated in your seat so you don't get a boo-boo. Buster always says, no boo-boos on the bus. And then we teach them things like, I see you. And you see me. That's so they know to look for their driver's signal to cross the street. And then to get them to remember to sit in their seats, we have a little saying we teach them. It goes like this. Bottoms on the bottom, backs on the back, and your feet on the floor. But I don't have feet. I have heels. So that's basically what we do. And I'm going to let Miss Kathy explain a little more so you don't have to listen to my very annoying voice that the kids absolutely love.
So
this is Buster. And, oh, microphone. So this is Buster. And Buster is awesome. I never thought I would enjoy being Buster, but I do. It's definitely the highlight of my workday when I get to do it. When we go into the schools, Allison prepared a skit, and we have the drivers acting as students and a school bus driver, and they show a trip to school, and the students are not behaving on the bus on the way to school. They're not sitting, they're throwing things, and what have you. So they get to school, and then Allison asks the kids, what did you see that they shouldn't be doing? And it's amazing. All of them are jumping up and down. They want to participate. And to be honest, they all pick out the things that they shouldn't be doing on the bus. So then Buster comes out and he interrupts Miss Allison. Ooh, Miss Allison. And Buster talks to the kids. And then we bring the actors back out, and they show a trip home after they saw a presentation with Buster. Because, Buster can be in two places at once because he's magic. And that's what he tells the kids. They have been unbelievably receptive. I think it's an amazing program that we've put on for them. And we're continuing to expand it. We want it to grow. We targeted it toward K through 2. But I have to tell you, when we were at Fishkill Plains, Miss Fazio was like, you know what? The older kids might enjoy this too. So we kind of winged it a little bit. And I had Buster come in while she was talking to the older students, and they call her Miss Foz. So I had him roll in and go, yo, 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 Miss Foz. They went nuts. They loved it. So even the older kids are receptive to it. So I'm hoping next year maybe we'll have a different presentation for the older students. And when Buster was there the last time, he said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to come back and visit around Christmas time, around the holidays. If your bus drivers tell me you've all been good in following the rules, I'll come visit. Allison decked him out with antlers and a nose and a tail and Christmas lights. And we got a sleigh, and the mechanics facilities rigged the sleigh to be towed behind. And today was our first foray into the elementary schools. We went to Fishkill Plains and to Gayhead. They knew we were coming. And Buster just went up and down the hallways playing Christmas music and happy holidays. And the kids went insane. They were chanting, Buster, Buster. So we're definitely reaching them, utilizing Buster. Like Dr. Bonk said, they're much more receptive to it than one of us standing here and reciting rules. And it's something that they're going to remember. And we're hoping to institute like a Buster Rewards program, maybe a bus of the month. We're still working out all the details, but the drivers will nominate their buses if they've behaved well for the month. And there'll be a Buster All-Star and maybe a certificate or something they could hang in the school. We're, like I said, working out the details, but we're getting there. So we have a lot of ideas in the works, and hopefully we'll continue to grow this program. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I would just like to say on behalf of the Board of Education, that was amazing. And thank you guys so much. And thank you, Buster, because you really brought a smile to all of us. And actually, I don't know, I think my seniors were giggling around me. There might be something for the high school kids in this. I think he would have so much fun running through the hallways, causing chaos. I know our assistant principals at the two high schools would probably have so much fun. We could have the SROs chasing them. It'll be great.
If I may weigh in, if we could have Buster do something for the board too, I think they need to be kind of brought in line.
Yes, we need to remember our rules too. But again, thank you guys so much. We enjoyed the presentation and great work for always bringing our students safely to and from schools. Thank you.
Thank you again. And I also need to thank our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Kristen Dainty, who is the central office administrator who's responsible for overseeing our transportation department, for doing such a phenomenal job. Way to go, Team Transportation and Facilities. Thank you so much.
Okay. 6.01, public comments on agenda items. Ms. McDowell, none? Okay, seeing none. 6.02, communications and announcements received by the Board of Education. Ms. Kelland?
Yes, I had the opportunity to see Mrs. Humphrey's coding class from John Jay go to Van Wyck and teach coding to various classes during the day. I saw 3 different activities in different rooms, and the kids were really enthusiastic and interested in it. So wonderful example of students on different levels helping each other and teaching each other.
Thank you. Mr. Lumia?
Okay. I'd like to thank first of all, Tara Kohler for inviting the board to Fishkill Plains for the fantastic job to the students there. Dr. Bunk, Michelle, Mr. Montanando, and Peggy Callan was there. And they actually tried, and they're very successful in putting that ball through the designs of the, what do you call it, the golf courses. They told me to try. I said, no, that's not my thing. I don't want to be embarrassed. But apparently they did pretty well. So thank you, Tara Kohler. But now, in addition to that, recently we had a curricular committee meeting. I want to thank the 4 math teachers that were invited. We'll get their professional opinion, the possible reason why some students did not perform well on the algebra region. And this can be applied to the other math courses. Some of them suggested that there should be a study in the chronic attendance problem and whether that affects their education. And a lot of the students come to class unprepared. They say there's little consequence for not doing homework or turning homework late. Even though students are given anchor notes, video to help them, they do not take the initiative to use them. Teachers provide notes on Google Classroom, yet they do not take the initiative to make up work when they're absent. Often calling home does not seem to have a positive impact on the kids' performance in class. They say too much time is spent on phones, playing games, and not enough time on studies. Too much time is relying on graphic calculators for simple, basic calculations. Teachers, because of the No Child Left Behind Act, cannot keep students behind, even though they're not ready to go to the next class. This act is dumbing down, in my opinion, is dumbing down education. Perhaps it's not done on purpose. I go on with other reasons provided, but there's a copy that I provided to the entire board. In the future, well, wait a minute, another page here. To me, it seemed that unlike when I taught mathematics for many years at RCK, today's teachers not only have to be masters of their subject, they must be psychologists, guidance counselors, social workers, and at times act as parents. Teachers today are expected to be magicians and be able to solve all student problems. Unless we start demanding that students take their education seriously and hold them accountable for their action, no amount of money will make a difference. As a district, we have to somehow address what we can do to motivate students so that teachers do not have to be the scapegoats for what students are not performing as they should. In the future, I hope they can have an agenda item where teachers in various fields are invited throughout the year to address how a district can improve students' performance. More importantly, every year, Dr. Bunk asks us, the board, to give him a suggestion regarding the budget. I recommend that we actually invite teachers to make their presentation, what's needed to help them. I think it's important. They're the experts. They know what's needed, as opposed to me. I don't know what's needed. So I'd like to invite them to see, either invite them or actually send suggestions to the board so we can give it to Dr. Bunk and they can, all right, thank you.
Thank you for your opinions, Mr. Lumia. Anyone else have anything for communications? I was unable to get to several things, but I was able to go to the Dutchess County School Boards Association dinner on the 4th, which was very enlightening. Mr. Patrick Longa from NISBA, but he was there on his own behalf, did a wonderful presentation that was very inspiring regarding ADHD and other aspects of that. So it was very, very illuminating. And I just wanted to thank Ms. Kellen was there and Trustee Miggets as well. Moving on, 6.03 committee reports. The first one is the capital improvement. Ms. Miggets is unavailable tonight, but I will say that we had 2 quick meetings. She will give an actual full update at the next meeting. But we were able to get a few bids back, and we are in the process of reviewing them for a future meeting. So that is that. On policy, Ms. Kelland?
The policy committee met at the first Wednesday of every month, and we addressed some issues. The second reading of the policy is this time at this meeting, and we will be voting on changes to the public use of school facilities, the school board powers and duties, and board committees. This was mainly clarifying those policies and updating them to reflect current practice. The meeting was attended by Mr. Lumia, Ms. Miggets, Ms. Johnson, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Lokema, District Clerk Alberta Pedro, and myself. Thank you.
You're right back up with Dutchess County School Boards Association.
Yes, that meeting was attended by about almost 30 people, including Ms. Johnson and Ms. Miggets and myself. And as Mrs. Johnson already said, there was a presentation by Patrick Longo from the New York School Boards Association, but he came on as himself. Not as a representative of the association, and did a wonderful presentation called Beneath the Surface on ADHD and autism. Both of he himself suffers from these problems, but has overcome them. And he has 2 children, one who is ADHD and the other is on the autism spectrum. And he gave insights of how the people who have these problems actually react to people around them and situations. It was very informative. And the food was fantastic. The BOCES students put on a dinner for us that was just fabulous.
Thank you, Ms. Kellen. And you're right, they did. And they had cookies and they had cannoli. They had everything. John, you missed it. You should have shown up. It was one of the 2 times a year that they have an in-person. Next is Dr. Cardwell for curriculum.
Good evening. The curriculum committee met on December 4th. The board members that are on the committee and were present at that meeting were Mr. Capillari, Mr. Lumia, Ms. Kellen, and President Johnson. The topic and presentation, as Mr. Lumia said earlier, was on Algebra 1, and we had the director of math and science and several teachers there presenting the committee with information. After that presentation, we are continuing to create our mathematics action plan and are looking forward to the improvements that will come in the entire math program as we continue to dive deeper into the cause and effect of how we are doing in mathematics. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cardwell. And I must say they did an amazing job for the presentation. Regarding Dutchess County BOCES, our esteemed trustee McFarland, who sits on the board, if you could give us a quick update.
Thank you, thank you. At our last meeting, we had the great opportunity of passing a bid for a EMT ambulance simulator. Dutchess County BOCES is bringing in an EMT program. So at the last meeting, we just approved the budget for a simulator, EMT simulator. So that's great news. Thank you.
That's great news because we are definitely in demand for those. Dr. Bog, could you give us an update on strategic planning?
Absolutely, President Johnson. The Strategic Planning Committee met a few weeks ago, and we are in the process of developing a survey. Hopefully, we'll have that survey ready to roll once we get into January, and hopefully it will be out to our community no later than February. And then based on the results of that survey, we will begin working collaboratively with our entire community on our strategic plan. But again, I would ask our community, this is our plan. So we really need you, once these surveys are sent out, to indicate your priorities for this school district. What do you think our major responsibilities are? That's important. Obviously, we now are preparing students for life after they leave us, whether that be on to college, whether that be into a career, whether that be technology, whether it be the armed forces, whatever it might be. And we need to make sure that we have the types of programs in our buildings to prepare our students. So again, I'm imploring the community, once these surveys go out, and we will let you know, we want to hear your feedback. What is it that you want from your school district? What is our priority? That's very important. So I look forward to that work, and that will be coming in the coming months. And I want to thank everybody on the Strategic Planning Committee for all of their work. Again, we're just starting, but I am confident that we will come up with a plan that everyone, all segments of our community, can support, that positively impacts all, and I say all of our students. Thank you.
As we come up on our student board representatives, don't worry, Dr. Bonk plans on tapping into you guys on our strategic plan, because we're going to be sending out surveys to the students as well to get your input. And we can't wait to hear what you guys come up with for, thoughts on questions and stuff. It might be something we can do there.
Yes, you might have a perspective that we would like to know.
Like a pretty important one.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let's start. We're going to shake it up. I like to shake up the roster every month. So we're going to start with winter this time, and we'll work our way down the line again.
All right, perfect. Hello, everyone. Again, it's an absolute honor to be here with you all today. As for news from John Jay High School, as you may have heard, the John Jay Model UN Club recently, I wouldn't say competed, but rather participated in the BOCES Model UN Conference at Vassar about 2 weekends ago, if I remember correctly. The conflict being the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese Armed Forces. And I am elated, absolutely elated to announce that out of the 5 recognized delegations, John Jay was the heart and soul of 4 of them. I've worked with these people. I was there at the conference. It's an absolutely wonderful time. Very stressful, but it's worth it. And it really goes to show the collaborative soul, that John Jay students have been taught to grow and taught to advance through the teachings of Wappinger Central School District. Otherwise, there are so many great events that have taken place, and clubs are in full swing, especially getting ready for competitions. I know debate also had a competition, and I know the people there. I know they most likely did very, very excellently. And Again, college application season is absolutely in full swing, and our guidance staff are doing the absolute best they can, are doing excellently in preparing students no matter what path they want to take, whether that be armed forces, whether that be career, whether that be college. No matter what, our guidance staff are equipped and ready to help students no matter what quarrel they face. Thank you.
And congratulations on the wonderful work you did as a UN representative. We heard all about it, and you represented us very well. Thank you, along with your other 4 fellow students. Ash, what do you have for us over at Orchard View today?
A little bit. Orchard View was chosen by the Gilder Lehrman Institute to participate in the Hamilton Education Program, where students will study primary sources, create authentic projects, and travel to Broadway for a matinee in February. Following the presentation our students were given by the Westchester Medical Center representatives on internship and volunteer opportunities, we'll be hearing from an attorney about careers in law this week and opportunities in the energy industry. And we'll be visited by CAPE, a nonprofit organization that'll be giving a school-wide presentation about preventing substance use disorder and how to support the ones we love. Lastly, our school is currently collecting basic needs for those impacted by Hurricane Melissa, where supplies will be brought to Jamaica by one of our staff members whose family was affected in the disaster.
Thank you very much. Emma, but I don't know, I missed you at the No Hate Day.
I was there. I saw you standing.
You saw me? Oh, I was probably standing up front, like watching everything. Royce Ketchum had a beautiful day, and I can't wait for Emma's take on that.
Okay, so my first, we have winter sports rolling. Boys won their first game. Girls have their first game tomorrow. I know wrestling had a great match, and they have one today. We had our day of no hate, where we had juniors and freshmen assembly first period and seniors and sophomores assembly second period. I attended the second period one, and I loved hearing Mateo talk about his experience and just everything about what he said. And Miss Johnson was in attendance, and I think it was amazing. And we had music playing all day, and the stepograms and the happygrams, and it was just a great day to celebrate before the holidays.
It was, and I have to say, if nobody's heard Mateo from the Winter Circle Project present, that man is very, Dr. Bongdam, I believe Mr. McFarland has heard him. He is extremely inspirational, and he does some pretty interesting stuff with his building and his career that he's had. It would be interesting to hear some of that. And he was very, very energetic. And I was able to go to the school today for a meeting, and there was the wonderful messages on all the windows that you guys put, and they're still there, and it was just beautiful. And I want to thank you guys. That being said, 7.01 consent agenda. Does anybody have anything they wish to pull from the consent agenda? Mr. Lumia? 7.03, number 10. Anything else? Okay. Ms. Kellen?
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following consent agenda items as stated. 7.02, 7.03 with the exception of number 10, 7.04, 7.05, 7.06, 7.07, 7.08, 7.09, and 7.10.
Do I have a motion? Mr. McFarland, second. Ms. Kelland, all those in favor? Unanimous. 7.03, number 10.
Memorandum of agreement, right? Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Resolved that the Board of Education vote in favor of approval of the memorandum of agreement.
Do I have a motion to accept? Mr. McFarland, second. Mr. Lumia. All those in favor? Mr. McFarland, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Mondesando, Mr. Capolari. All those against? Mr. Lumia and Ms. Kellen. The motion does not pass. Eight point zero one, approval to attend NISBA Lobby Day.
Resolved that the Marie Johnson, Cheryl Miggets, and Peggy Kelland, and any other interested board member attend NISBA Lobby Day in person on February 11th, 2026 in Albany, New York, at no cost for registration and with reimbursement for meals, mileage, tolls, and parking, if applicable, as per board policy.
Before we go further, was any other member interested before we started that read? Ms. Mondesando would like to also attend, so we're going to, and Mr. Capolari, you also would like to attend? Yes, I believe it is.
February 11th, correct?
Yes.
February 11th.
So we're going to amend that to add Ms. Mondesando in there and Mr. Capolari. Thank you. Motion,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Kellen, second, Mr. Lumia, all in favor? Unanimous. 8.02, approval of the 25-26 health service rate.
Resolved that the Board of Education of Wappinger Central School District establish a rate of $1,404.81 per pupil for the school year 2025-2026 for health services provided to non-resident pupils attending non-public schools in the Wappinger Central School District. All costs are billed to the home school for reimbursement.
Do I have a motion? Mr. McFarland, second, Mr. Lumia. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. 8.03, approval of new club charters.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the new club charters as submitted.
Do I have a motion? Ms. Kellen, second, Mr. Capolari. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. 8.04, approval of transfer agreement Gayhead logos.
Whereas the Board of Education has reviewed the proposed transfer agreement for a logo designed for Gayhead Elementary School and finds its terms acceptable to the school district. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the transfer agreement authorizing the transfer of all intellectual property rights of the Gayhead logos, Griffin and Gracie, to the Wappinger Central School District, and further authorizes the board president to execute the attached transfer agreement on behalf of the Board of Education. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the Gayhead logo and adopts the revision to Exhibit 5260E1, official marks on first reading, effective December 16th, 2025, as requested by Principal James Daly.
Do I have a motion? Mr. Lumia, second, Ms. Kellen. All those in favor? Unanimous. 8.05, approval to retire policies.
Resolved that the Board of Education of the Wappinger Central School District does hereby retire the following policies effective December 16th, 2025, as stated.
Do I have a motion? Mr. McFarland, second. Ms. Kellen, all in favor? To retire? Unanimous. 8.06, first reading of policies. This is a silent reading. If anybody has any questions, I please encourage you to reach out to Ms. Kellen as chair of that committee in order to get those addressed. 9.01, is there any additional items to be added to the agenda? Seeing none. 10.01, comments from the public. Do we have any comments? Seeing none. 11.01 is to adjourn.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby adjourn the December 15th, 2025 Board of Education meeting.
At 8:14. Do I have a motion? Mr. McFarland, second. Mr. Lumia, all in favor?
Everybody have a nice
Unanimous.
holiday.
Everybody have a wonderful holiday.